The original Last of Us was a more slower paced game with a lot of heart. It had incredible visuals and it made the players stop and take a look at the beautiful scenery around them. It was dragged down, however, with its good but repetitive combat and more slower and dragged out scenes. The greatest thing about The Last of Us is its story, however, with an interesting story and an incredibly satisfying ending.
That's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
The first Last of Us is a game about relationships. The second Last of Us, however, is a game about destroying those relationships. Seriously, all Ellie's close friends die because Ellie was trying to seek vengeance for Joel. The game has gotten a lot of criticism in the past couple weeks, but are they true? The critics and the fans seem to have a huge disconnect on what's actually going on in the game. It's certainly the most confusing game I've talked about, and the community seems to be split on if it's an actual good game or a bad game. So let's find out. Let's first talk about the combat. It is way better than the first Last of Us. The new tools you can craft, the new weapons, the way those weapons feel, it's all great. You can still feel the power of your punches just like the original Last of Us. And it's great to blast someone with a shotgun or silently kill someone with the bow and arrow. You always have the option to kill enemies stealthily or go in guns blazing. You can now hide in grass and go prone. There's also these new dogs that will sniff you out and hunt you down. And of course the crafting system. I feel like the supplies are not too hard to find but not too easy to find. So I feel like I felt like I just had the right amount to go on and survive. And of course, you can always upgrade your guns with the spare parts, and they're actually very useful to upgrade your guns. And graphically, this game is incredible. Water will run down Ellie's clothes, and when you shoot somebody, their brains splatter on the wall and the blood rushes down. When you go into Seattle, the city is overgrown, has tons of plants and algae going in the water. It really is a beautiful game, and is very much in style of the first Last of Us. When characters zoom in, they actually squint. There's also a lot of references to the first game. You could find Sam's toy in Ellie's house, Joel and Sarah's picture in Joel's house. There's tons of buildings and rooms that you can explore for supplies, and in Seattle at one point, there's even a huge open world that you can explore. My man Gustavo coming back, making some bangers. Love the music, it really goes along with the theme. But of course, you guys want me to talk about the story.
Making a vaccine. Would have killed you. So I stopped them.
Oh my God. Don't you fucking touch me! I'll go back. But we're done.
And of course, the story is the most diverse part about this game. The story is we see Ellie about 5 years after the original game. Ellie has gotten a new girlfriend named Dina, but, hunters take someone close to Ellie and kills, spoiler alert, Joel. Unfortunately, Ellie did not like that very much. But you're probably thinking, wait, Ellie and Joel, the relationship between them was the best thing that was the best thing in the original. And you'd be right. But,
Get up!
so she seeks revenge. She goes out and she tries to kill the people who killed Joel. Ellie goes through this whole trip through Seattle, and in turn gets her whole friends killed. But then Abby and Ellie meet, and Abby kicks the shit out of her. Like, just brutal. But then Abby leaves her to live.
Don't ever let me see you again.
Damn! Then we go through this whole quest through Abby's life, and what led her up to kill Joel. And we know that the two are very similar, but Abby's actually better because she did not kill Ellie, which makes her the better person technically. They both have parallel stories, and they actually do intersect, and we see why Abby would have done what she did. Ellie, a couple weeks later, is living happy with Dina, but eventually learns that she has to go out and finish the job, so she does. She goes out and meets Abby, and she's choking her, but at the hands of her throat, she stops. If she does kill her, that means she's worse than Abby, so she has to be better than Abby and not kill her. And she lets him live. And then Ellie goes home, and she's left alone.
Have a good night.
How is it that you're never scared?
Who says that I'm not?
What are you scared of?
Let's see. Scorpions are pretty creepy. Being by myself. I'm scared of ending up alone.
It's a good story, but with a couple problems. The biggest one being the death of Joel. And this seems to be the biggest problem with the players as well.
They're upset. A lot of people are upset, not just because of, and I don't think it's just because of the homophobic Christian villains. I don't think it's just because of the Ellie being gay. It's not. It's all of the stuff that they use to sell that. You know what I mean? To the point where it hijacks why we play these games in the first place.
The story isn't there. Whoever was writing it has dropped the ball big time. Neil Druckmann, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, mate.
You expect me to play the game out? You must be insane.
Obviously, Joel's death was a hit to the heart for the fan base. And I think it's because we've been waiting 7 years for this game. We were expecting a sequel with Joel and Ellie. And even in the trailers, they show that. But, unfortunately, that's not what we got. Which I get, but I think it's wrong to judge a game without actually playing it. But I do see the upsetment. I mean, they really played us. I mean, I gotta be honest. A lot of these trailers, it seemed like Dina was the one getting killed, and Joel and Ellie were the ones going out and trying to revenge him. But unfortunately, they were switched. And I would definitely agree with them. I would have loved to see more Joel in the beginning. And honestly, I think the game would be a lot better if Dina and Joel were switched. Honestly, this game would be a 10 out of 10 if Joel didn't die, but at the end, maybe he did. But not at the beginning. I do really like the part, though, where Dina leaves because of Ellie going out so much and endangering her life and her family. And Ellie trying to forgive Joel for what he did is a really great scene, and I actually really like that one. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a DLC with more Joel in it. I would love that. Or maybe even the sequel, they can bring him back somehow. I don't know. I wouldn't be upset. It's a shame that this sequel's story is like this, because honestly, everything else is here. Everything else here is really good. It just sucks that we didn't see more of Joel. Is it wrong to be upset about Joel? No, I don't think so. Is it wrong for people to scream and say how bad this game is because Joel's dead? That's not right either. Even though I don't like Joel's death, I think people should play the game, actually. And I think it's wrong for people to judge it just by Joel's death than rather playing it and saying, it saved me $60. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the tone of The Last of Us 2. During the flashback scenes with Joel and Ellie, it does really feel like it's the original Last of Us. I mean, the way they talk, even the tone of those areas are really good, really spot on to the original Last of Us. However, the rest of the game, it feels more like you're always on the run, Rather, the original Last of Us was more casual about that. It was more relaxing in a way. It was carrying its story. Where I feel like the new Last of Us is more about hate and revenge. The original Last of Us was a more feel good, not sort of feel good, but just a feel good game, kind of. Not really. The original Last of Us had some fucked up shit in it, but it still kept a very like slow and casual, relaxing kind of game vibe. But there's new stuff in the new Last of Us that makes me just parts where I go, what the fuck? What is this? What the fuck? All in all, I think it's a really solid game with a few disappointing parts. I think it's a little messy as well. But all in all, it gets my first 6 through 7 out of 10. I can't really decide through 6 or 7, so I just went 6 through 7. So I hope that's okay. But yeah, that's my review.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts I've no need for anymore. 'Cause I believe, and I believe 'cause I can see our future days, days of you and me. There you go.
Well, that didn't suck.
I'll take what I can get.